But basically, I'm going to do an upgrade on the Z5500 that I've got here. I've already done previous upgrades on this, so one of them was to put the creative speakers on, which I am a fan of, but I'm also not a fan of. If you like to abuse your speakers, these probably aren't the ones for you, but if you like your quality at reasonable listening volumes, definitely. So today, I'll be sticking a new sub in there, taking that one out and retiring it elsewhere. So when I play my music on my computer, I run through optical. You can also run these things with just normal headphone sockets, cables and things like that. So you see they've got 3 sockets back here. The idea is that'd be one for each pair of channels. Or you can switch it with this little switch on the side, and you would be able to use that as 3 separate inputs. There's a lot to this speaker system. I'm not going to go in depth into how this thing works or why it is the way it is. I'm literally here just to do this. That can be done on a separate video, not important. But yeah, just to point out, I'm in optical, so that's what I'm using personally. Different from everyone else. So let's get this unboxed. The speaker I'm using is a Focal Expert. See the name. Focal Expert 25 dB or T25 dB. The reason why I chose this sub is just super sensitive. So in theory, I can run this on low power and still get good output. That's one of the reasons why I picked it. And also, Vocals are quality speakers. So not much in that box, just mainly padding. There's the bad boy. It's the box out the way. Quick look at the speaker. There's not much to look at these things. It's just one flat cone area. Plastic finish. Quite a quality surround on it though. Again, nothing flash or fancy on the back. Just a mirror finish on the magnet. So this is a dual voice coil 4 ohm sub, so each coil is 4 ohms on this thing, which is why I was after it. So in order to get this speaker in this box, first thing we need to do is move this control pod. It's not really needing that, although I will need to turn the speakers off. And there's my other satellite, back to the side. So for all of you that have never done this before, this is going to be very tricky for you. If you've already changed the speaker on this thing, to be honest, it's quite straightforward. So I've not moved this thing in a long time. It is disgusting. I'll have to clean that up. What the aim is to disable this. What the aim is to dismantle this thing. I've never done it through these. Basically, this grill is adhered into the box, so I always pried it out from here, plopped it off, and got to the speaker. Not sure if you could do it from this. If any of you guys do figure out if you can or not, let me know, because I've never done it that way. It'd be interesting to hear if you have. So what I want to do is pry around here. So you'll need a big screw. I'm probably going to need a big screwdriver myself to pry around that. There we go. So this thing's had some reviews, so for me, not a big deal. But you'd have to tease this all the way around the side, all the way around, to crack all of the adhesive, so that when you pull this off, it just falls off. And there we have it, our sub. As I said, I made that look easy, but I can tell you now, that is not an easy job. If you've got one that's never been opened and it's in pristine condition, you're going to have a hard time. It's going to be absolutely hell for you to pull apart. That's what all we're doing, is just from the inside. It's absolute vile. You're probably all going to have to do this. I mean, your systems aren't going to exactly be a year or two old, so you're all going to be doing this. Crosshead. So these are still the original screws that my original sub had. So these will be the same for you. Before I do that, I'll find a base test for you guys, because I think that's very important. I do one. I'll do them side by side for you guys. For me, I'll have to do a bit of jiggling around, but you'll see them back to back. I'm going to tell you if I hear a difference. I know what my sub sounds like. I'm going to clean these wires up, because when I first put the speaker in here, I was under the assumption that I was going to come back and put another original back in. Learning what I've learnt now, in actual fact, the original was not very hard to surpass, so I'm never putting the original sub back in this box. It's not happening. It's not actually that good, the original one, so I'm going to cut this off. And again, I have the tools now to put these exact same ends on here, should I ever need to, which I probably won't. positive was on this back to front. Why was it back to front? So I'd done the polarity back to front because I was pairing this system up with PA speakers once upon a time, which the polarity was back to front. No longer need to do that, so this time around I'll be putting the polarities the right way around. So stick that here. Clean this end up as well. This cable's pretty much had it. I think it'll be good probably for another 5-6 years, and then it's like it needs replacing. Because the cable's so skimpy on these things, fold it back on itself. And he's in. Next I need to do, so put positive on one positive on this side, and I need to go from the negative on this side to the positive on this side. So get up just the cable. That's how long we want it. Cut it. Strip it back. Maybe a bit more than that. Same again. Cut it. Strip it back. See how easy that is when you have the proper tools. There's no messing around with blades or anything. It's just in, out, done. So really could tin these if you really needed to, but not worth it. Doesn't need it. You're not running a stupid amount of power. I think what, 180 watts when this thing was at its peak. It's not at its peak anymore. So 188 watts. This sub will laugh at that. That's one of the reasons why I wanted it. So go from negative to positive. And negative in here. Now, technically, just for OCD reasons, I'm going to reverse all this because if I call these to be the right way around, so pay me no attention. I don't need to do this. So same again. Positive. Into negative with a piece of cable, which then goes into positive on the other side of the speaker. As I said, if I'd have tinned that, doing that process just then would have been so much easier. Didn't need tinning really, to be honest. As I said, it's quite an old system, so it is what it is. Right, they're all in. As you see there, the ground is in the ground, and then positive into the piece of cable, and then on the other side it's, as you see, positive and a positive, and a piece of cable in the ground. That is how you get 8 ohms. So I'm going to go get my voltmeter because that's good to check. Always check before you think. Always check before you think you know what you've done. So anything can happen. So it's just good to check. Yeah, so the correct way to test your speaker, I'll show you. So the correct way to test is to test from cable end to cable end. So you should be testing the speaker positive to the negative where your other speaker connection goes in, like this. Because if you test these two, you'll end up with 4 ohms here. You don't want to test that. You want to test from the other side. If I do that, as you see, you get more or less 8 ohms. We're going to write that to 8 ohms because the speaker's sat on its side right now, which doesn't help it. If you're going to wire it to 8 ohms, if you do it wrong, one of 2 things is going to happen when you wire it to 8 ohms. Either you're going to be running at 2 ohms load, which is not good for your amp, or if you run the other way that I've done it, and you do it incorrectly, i.e. you've put your positive on one coil here and your negative on the other coil here, and then join the two together, and your join's not good, it just won't work. So that's the benefit of doing it the way that I've done it as well. So it's all down to your amp load. That is what's important. So I've done one positive here, one ground there, as you can see, and that is directly out of the amp. There you go. Good representation of what you need to do. That one and that one. So yeah, so I'm going to do my check just before I put the speaker back in. So just check. So now I should be reading on here 8 ohms. Look at that. 7.6, 7.5. Perfect. Once it's in the box, it'll read more or less 8 ohms. This is somewhat annoying. Hey people, so I've come to my first hurdle, and this is what happens when you put custom speakers in a speaker in a box that's not built for it. Not to say you can't do it, you can. You're more than well in your power to do it, but you're probably not really going to see very well, but I'm going to show you anyway. So we've got the image and everything all perfect. The problem we've now got is this speaker's smaller than the last one, so you just about see the pilot holes here for the last speaker, but it's the same on the other side. It just does not match up. So you've got 2 options. I can make it fit as it is now because there is enough wood for me to put screws in, although I don't know how well that will hold, or I make a new bracket for it to screw into. Now I'm tempted to try this first, because if it doesn't work, I've got more than enough surface area to create something. So that's what I'm going to do. So if this works, then yeah, I'll let you guys know. But I'm going to have to center the speaker bang so the focal's upright. I may as well. I mean, I'm this far through, so yeah, I'm going to have to drill new holes in.